Hi, this is Karen Yancey with Online Learning Services at the College of St. Rose, and I'm going to discuss how appropriate backgrounds for a St. Rose class meeting. The backgrounds should be appropriate for the audience. A class meeting should have a background that is relaxed and focused and that can allow people to focus on the content. A good background would be a background with a bookcase or a background with a lamp or a plant. It could also be a living room with couches, as long as it is a relaxed, quiet environment that allows the person to focus. Flashy backgrounds of tropical islands are distracting. Also, video backgrounds, dramatic video backgrounds of waves crashing are distracting. If you want to use a video background, you can use a video background of an office with waves, with a plant in the background, or with a bookcase. But nothing dramatic in the video should be present for your background. If you have participants who are uncomfortable showing their real background, they can use a picture of a bookcase, or they can use a picture of an office, or they can use a picture of a living room that they can pull from Google Images. They can also use the St. Rose insignia as their background. If you are in a noisy environment, or if your participants are in a noisy environment, they can use headsets with a microphone. It is a good idea as an instructor to require that all of your students present themselves with video and audio in the class. Do not allow people to lurk in a meeting. It does not encourage classroom unity. It doesn't encourage classroom presence. You want to have student presence and instructor presence in the class. So do not let people lurk with their images off and their so that you can't see their face. A good way to encourage student participation is to have students, each person, speak at a different time and have their turn to speak. I am going to show you how to upload an image to your Zoom background to reflect a good office background if you do not have a good office background. Supposing you have a student who is in an environment where, say, they're working in their little sister or little brother's room, and they don't have a good backdrop to show. So what I'm going to do is share my screen. And this actually is a Tech Talk article on best practices for teaching with video conferencing tools that I wrote. And there is an image that can be used for people who want to use the St. Rose logo. Now, when you start any Zoom meeting, this screen pops up. You can go to your image up in the corner, click on that, and you will find a drop-down that includes settings. This settings will take you into the settings for your Zoom account. And there is a virtual background option if you have that enabled in your web-based Zoom account. Each Zoom account has a web-based screen interface, and it has this dialog box that appears when you activate a Zoom meeting. This is where you can upload your virtual background. And you can see here that I have no background selected. But if I wanted to, I could select a background that I uploaded that is an office background. I can also click on another office background. This virtual backdrop is appropriate for class meetings. It's appropriate for work meetings. It sends a professional message. If a student wants to use a St. Rose backdrop, it's important that they unselect Mirror My Video. And there you will see you can read the text appropriately, correctly. So I'm going to put this back onto Mirror My Video and go into a different backdrop. And now I'm going to go up and go to None and go back to my office backdrop. Now you can exit and I'm going to show you some images that I pulled up on Google Images that could be used. Okay. Another thing to point out is that when you are in a meeting, you want to teach your students professional work habits that include presence in an online collaborative environment. If a student is required to directly speak into the camera, face the camera and speak directly into it, to wear appropriate clothes for a class meeting, and that could be a t-shirt for a class, but if you are having them present something, make them dress up in appropriate professional attire for their presentation. Even if it's in a Zoom meeting, they're still presenting and they still need to appear professional. And also require them to use backdrops that are appropriate for a class meeting. Those are 3 tips that you can, or 3 requirements you can make of your students as a professor to teach them professional online collaboration skills. If you want to read more about best practices for effective video conferencing, here is an article from Microsoft that discusses, well, the 6 tips for video conferencing like a pro is from Microsoft, that talks about how to video conference if you're working from home. And best practices for effective video conferencing is an article from Stanford University. I encourage you to go to the Tech Talk on the College of St. Rose Online Learning Services website, where you can find more articles on topics about Zoom and Zoom classes. Thanks for watching.